So, is Elon Musk, the Tesla CEO, the world's greatest spy? That's the subject of today's video, and in fact, he may be a lot better at spying on you than you realize. This is the headlines coming out. Elon Musk offers personal aid in Las Vegas Cybertruck explosion probe. And basically, guys, there is a bunch of dash cam footage or camera footage, however you want to call this thing, because it's more than just the dash cam, it's actually all around the car. And we're talking about the Tesla Cybertruck. So this is the person who was in the vehicle at the time, and other people, it appears. But this is the kind of footage that these things can record. And I just want to pose this question to you. Do you want Elon essentially spying on you all of the time? To be perfectly frank, guys, this kind of technology, this kind of access to personal information of anyone in the world, right? If there's a Tesla around or Elon's, spy satellites, and they actually are spy satellites. That's part of what he does over at SpaceX, works with the government. This is the kind of stuff that we're talking about, right? The people's location, what are they doing? Who are these people? Who are you meeting? Any number of things. This is sort of why, at least one of the things that was brought up. Recently, there was a retired lieutenant general that was like, yo, Elon Musk is a national security risk, right? His foreign dealings with Putin and Russia, with China and Xi. And if you don't know, I've talked about this before in the channel, I keep repeating it because I think it's really important. Elon Musk has got that Shanghai factory. Essentially, a big part of his business is there, right? It's in China. And if you do business in China, one of the rules is basically you got to hand us over, any data, any sort of technology if you want to do business here, right? And it's crazy that we are even talking about this dude, how he's got access to all this stuff. And I guess he's got free reign of, Trump as he goes into office. You guys know, we talked about this recently. It was reported that Elon Musk is renting like a $2,000 a night cottage at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. And so basically he can just pop in and out of Trump meetings whenever he wants. And that's been reported as well. He'll just pop in on, Trump phone calls with world leaders. Or if Trump, for example, was trying to meet with Musk's competitor Bezos, and Musk just kind of shows up. And that's why I pose that question. Is Elon Musk the world's greatest spy? Think about this technology that he has, right? With the Teslas, etc. You also have this. He's getting involved in UK politics, German politics. I talked about this in the prior video. And if you don't believe me, this is his one of his big stock promoters, Sawyer Merritt. This is what he's writing here on January 3rd. News. Elon Musk has sent a team from Tesla to try and recover any footage from the exploded Cybertruck, right? The team will be arriving today, according to Las Vegas law enforcement officials. So basically, is this, and this is not just the Cybertruck, it's like, are all Teslas recording you all the time? Who knows, right? Ask Elon. I guess when you, inquire Tesla, this kind of stuff, it's very, very sensitive topics. I mean, for obvious reasons. And unfortunately, this is just how it is. Sometimes your, private footage, whatever you're doing in your car, and people do all kinds of stuff in their car, right? And you guys know what you do in your car, and you get a general sense. You watch movies. I'll just say people do all kinds of stuff, right? And be it with clothes, sometimes without clothes, be it with substances, we'll call it, or any kind of dealings, right, involving money, any number of things that people are doing in their cars, where they're going, who they're meeting. It turns out that they were Tesla employees passing around footage of private footage of you in the office. And so who knows what the kind of stuff they have access to or what they're looking at. And so, like I was saying, even the Tesla stock promoters are bragging about that Elon can, have all this footage and like, hey, let's go see what kind of footage is there. And I showed you guys the kind of stuff that's there. And actually, to be perfectly frank, it actually surprised me. I was like, dang, I knew, that these things would record, but not to this extent. And, they do have multiple cameras on these vehicles. This also comes at a time, and you got to put this together with something with Apple. This is just today. Apple agrees to $95 million settlement in Siri privacy action case. So the basic gist of it, and this is something my wife talks about all the time, and I don't know if you guys have it in your family where, your phone is literally listening to you all the time, right? And if you say, the keywords, your phone will wake up and, hey, what do you want? And part of the lawsuit in this one, and then this will relate to Tesla, because you just don't know what these technology companies are up to. The plaintiffs were complaining like they were talking at like a dinner about buying some Air Jordans or doing some sort of medical procedure or whatever, and then suddenly they're getting ads based on said things, right? So who knows? Apple settled, right? That's what they said. And one of the claims I think Apple was making is, say you're in intimate relationship, right? You're doing intimate relations, however you want to call these things, physical contact. And when you start to undo the zipper, that might trigger your phone. Whether or not that's true, whether or not your zipper triggers your phone, I don't know. I don't know. But that's the kind of stuff that is obviously a major concern going forward. Me myself, I grew up in an era where we didn't have like cameras and microphones in our cars. And as we talked about in just a prior video, we are now in 2025. If you're born today going forward, you're now generation beta. So I guess we're not we, but the new kids all being born are going to be, the generation of being beta tested of all this sort of new surveillance technology, essentially. And to be frank, I do understand there are some, usefulness things to why you may want your stuff to be recorded all the time. But, and I say, but remember Tesla's business model going forward is saying, hey, we're going to put out this robot taxi thing with no steering wheel, no pedals, so you can't control it. And then who's controlling the thing, right? Obviously, it's going to have to be connected to the cloud because they're saying we're doing like a robotaxi service, right? So there's going to be data being like probably continuously transmitted to and from the car, and you have all these cameras on. So that's why I showed you the kind of footage that you could be seeing. And I promise you guys, and I think you know this inherently, spy agencies around the world will be like, huh, so you're telling me that you have these like car thingies that can go anywhere, and you got these satellites in space that can look at anything, and you got like camera footage, location data, who people are meeting with, and like all this stuff, and you have this like access 24/7. Huh, I want a piece of that. And so, that part, to be frank, because people always say, Chris, Tesla's more than a car company. And you know what? You might be right. It's a spy company. and then on top of that, if you call Elon Musk out on any of these kind of things, he's now changed his policy on X. This is one of his, and who knows if this is Elon, because he's got a bunch of these. Sometimes they're fan accounts of real people. Other times it's been rumored that Elon has like, what's the right word to say, burner accounts or alternate identities. The Doge designer one, I don't know. I don't know if this is Elon himself or one of the employees or who it is. But anyway, they're saying breaking news, Elon has just restricted replies to his posts to verified users only and those mentioned in the post. So basically, you got to pay, according to Elon, pay to play if you want to interact with him on his platform. He just changed that there. And I verified for myself. I verified that I can't interact with Elon because I'm not giving him any money for this thing. And this is actually what Elon's writing here today. He says, algorithm tweak coming soon to promote more informational entertainment content. We will publish the changes to at XENG, or engineering, I guess it probably mean. Our goal is to maximize unregretted user seconds. Too much negativity is being pushed that technically grows user time, but not unregretted user time. And what I was thinking about when the way he writes this stuff, and when he refers to unregretted user time, it's the idea that I spent time, on your platform or looking at something, and then I regret, that time. I can't get your time back. And so what's funny though, what I was thinking about from Elon Musk's point of view, he gets trolled on his own platform quite a lot because he'll say lies in these things and people call it lies, or he'll just kind of like be stirring up stuff. And you guys know this. I can't even show you all the stuff that Elon tweets all the time because one, it's too much. It may be over 100 times a day. I don't know. It's really a lot. I'm really not kidding. Other times it's like just I can't even show it on YouTube because it breaks terms of service kind of stuff, right? So be it violence, language, etc. Any number of things that Elon Musk is tweets inappropriate. And then you have the kind of funny thing about Musk is like, I believe in free speech all day, every day. I think he calls himself a free speech, was it absolutionist, how he refers it. Yet now he's blocking your speech if you want to interact with him. He also says here, we're also working on easy ways for you to adjust the content feed dynamically. I wish you could just turn off Elon. And in fact, it's funny when you first start using Exit and if you put it on your phone, you'll get notifications from Elon even if you're not subscribed to him, which is pretty nuts. So then he says here, so you can have what you want at any given moment. And then the first comment that actually interacts with Elon, like lo and behold, is Alex Jones, like one of the big conspiracy theorists out there. And he says, The big question is, how will negatively be defined? One could say a lot of Elon Musk posts could be seen as negative when he exposes corruption, but in reality, spotlighting evil is very positive. So, it is. I think these people don't realize that they're telling on themselves when we're talking about spotlighting evil. So there's that. And I don't talk about Elon's mom that often, but I was just thinking about like, how did Elon get the way that he is? Well, here's his mom. And like I said, I don't talk about her all the time, but you got to bring this stuff up because it relates to sort of the stuff that Elon's doing today and who he is as a person. So she has actually been invited. I guess where's she going? Dubai. And she appears to be giving some sort of talk. And this is the title of it: How I Raised 3 Successful Entrepreneurs and Built My Own Career with Maye Musk. And like this whole thing, like the picture and the advertising for it, and they're calling it the billion follower summit. It just feels like one of those sort of scammy people that you see is like, hey, I'm a billionaire, come give me, $500,000 or whatever to have a chat with me, and I'll teach you how to be a billionaire too. like doesn't it feel like that kind of scammy, person? And this is the stuff that she tweets out before just last month. So proud of Elon Musk being appreciated for his contribution to USA. His goal is to prevent American bankruptcy. Vote. And it's funny, she also talks about being hated, I guess. By the way, I posted this on Instagram and expected an avalanche of hate. Instead, I only got 20% hate. However, the negative comments are very blah, blah, blah. And I guess for them, that's a low measure of hate, 20%. Maybe they normally get 50% hate. Who knows? As I was saying, Elon Musk already turned off comments unless you pay him to talk to him. And his mom saying, hey, only 20% of the people hate me. Go figure. These kind of people, the Musk, they're also now getting close to the Trumps. And it all kind of fits in. And, and you guys know that the Trumps essentially a family of these kind of people selling you cryptos and gold shoes and, whatever, and watches and steaks. And the list goes on. I can't even think of like, I think at one point Trump was selling you pieces of his suit. For real, it's like crazy stuff. He was selling you guitars as well. We've talked about this before in prior videos, but I'm saying these kind of people, they'll sell you anything. And the funniest thing, and I want to show you this picture, and just talking about Elon's mom, because I want you to kind of see the, what's the right word to say, hypocrisy among their circles. This is what Elon Musk's mom says on December 12th. Signing my book in China. Thank you for making it a bestseller. So, perfectly frank, guys, I have no problem with her having a book. I have no problem with her having a book. In fact, I'll just show you mine. I have a book right here. It's called Positive Angle. It's on Amazon, and I have it right here, and I think it's a great book. If you want to read her book, read my book, please do. But the thing I'm pointing out here is just imagine, for example, that you had a family member related to, someone who is a president or whatever. In this case, Hunter Biden, for example, you got to bring it up. And just imagine if Hunter Biden were signing a book in China. I promise you, Fox News would absolutely flip out, right? You guys know this. Oh my God, what's Hunter Biden doing with the Communist Party? What's he signing books in China? And it's kind of funny because in this situation, say, if Maye Musk is signing books in China, and in fact, I got no problem with selling books. I got no problem with going to other countries. It's like I got no problem just bringing it up because to me, it's not a big issue, right? But I promise you with Fox News, if anyone did this on the other side, they would certainly make an issue of it. I want to have you listen to some of the stuff that she has said in the past regarding Elon, her son, and Fox News. Have a listen.
But then they would lie about Elon. Well, first of all, they said Fox News bad, Trump bad, but they were saying Elon bad. I said, well, why are they lying about Elon? And my twin sister is a very smart woman. She's a hermit, so you can't see her or she won't let you interview her. But she advises me, and because she's in touch and she watches the news, and she said to me, you've got to follow Fox News. And I went on there, and there they were giving facts, and they weren't shouting and angry. They were just, they were inviting intelligent people on their shows.
So if you understand the stuff she's saying and who these people are, it's just so laughable. And oh yeah, Fox News tells the truth. I literally laughed out loud when I saw this. I'm like, are these people for real? But then he goes back to the, this is the kind of person that says, hey, my son's a billionaire and I'm going to teach you to be a billionaire just like my son. And there's that. Elon Musk, if you don't know, Tesla, They are actually in a world of hurt right now. Trump is, going to be taking office January 20th. You guys know this. And essentially, the Republican Party, they want to be cutting everything, right? Elon Musk himself is saying he wants to cut everything. Tesla, half of their profits come from these carbon credit stuff, regulatory credits. So there are a lot of, how can I say, dollars on the line in regards to Musk. He also is worrying about his tax credits to buy the EVs. I think it's like $7,500. And then now their sales are going in decline compared. They're not growing more like they were because competition is here. People maybe aren't so interested in EVs, and people don't like Elon. So there's that. And then on top of that, Elon Musk's worth is largely based on the price of Tesla stock. Whatever that stock does, he borrows loans against it. And Wall Street, these are the price predictions. If you're curious, they all just came out in relationship to the worrying decline in sales over at Tesla. And you can see that all the Wall Street's like downside, 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 downside. It is tough road going forward. But maybe the future of Tesla is to be perfectly frank, and of SpaceX is just being the world's greatest spy, network, and Elon Musk being the world's greatest spy. That's certainly a possibility. In order to, get your mind not thinking about Elon Musk spying you all the time, or not thinking about Tesla stock, failing, essentially now he's just trying to sell you pipe dreams to Mars. This is what he's saying recently. No, we're going straight to Mars, right? Someone asked him, what are you doing? The moon is a distraction, right? So that's according to Elon. Then he also says, mass to orbit is the key metric. Thereafter, mass to Mars surface. The former needs to be in the megaton to orbit per range to build a self-sustaining colony on Mars. So if you try to, get away from the planet Earth and go somewhere else, I guess Elon may be spying you on Mars also in his colony. And, you know what? If you want to get away from Elon, maybe the moon's the way to go. He calls it a distraction. So anyway, I like to hear your thoughts on this thing. I think it's an important story. I think people should be talking about this stuff. It's not just Elon, not just Tesla, not just Apple, but all these tech companies. Are they listening to you all the time? And do you want that? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.